Do you ever know people that don't enjoy the journey along the way? They're all the time thinking that, in the early stages of my life, I've got to really learn. I've got to put my nose to the grindstone. Then the next stage of their life is going to be their career. They got to work, work, work. And after their career's over, they're going to stop and have fun. That's right. Now that is dangerous, to be thinking that your life is just in 3 stages. You've got to enjoy all 3. Some people don't enjoy the journey. Maybe they're not taking care of themselves. Maybe they're not taking care of their relationships or being the parent they could. A lot of people I know in corporate America today, they're not taking care of their health and their energy. And you see people burn out. One of the great inspirational business builders of all time was a man named George Eastman, one of the great philanthropists ever. If you ever get up to Rochester area of New York, everything seems to be named after George Eastman. He was one of the great inspirational business builders who said he would toil away at the lonely workbench, creating work and work and work, and all the time that hard work would pay off, and one day he would be able to enjoy the sweet smell of success. But it was also what happened to George Eastman. Strangely, immediately upon retiring from the company George Eastman founded, Eastman committed suicide. The brief note he left spoke volumes. This was what he wrote: "My work is done, why wait?" That's pretty brief, would you agree? His entire identity, who he was wrapped into his identity as that business leader. And once that was gone, he had nothing left. It's a real danger today in corporate America where people, especially the higher in the C-suite they go, the more defined they are by their position as CEO or airline pilot or whatever it might be. You've got to be able to branch outside of that. Each stage of your life, you've got to learn, you've got to have the career, and you've got to have fun. But as you're having your career, you got to keep learning, you got to keep getting better, but you got to keep having fun. I lost my dad about 16 months ago, and my mom and he would have been married 60 years that following summer in July. And one of the key messages he gave me is you've got to take date nights, for example. You got to keep your romance fresh. You've got to continually take some vacations away from the children. That's a little discipline that has really impacted my marriage over the last 18 years. So my advice to you is take a good look, because so many people think, man, they're struggling, because you don't suffer from burnout, everybody. You create it. And they're not taking the time to enjoy the journey. So be very, very careful what you think is important to you right now. Take a look beyond, because we all know people who have retired after doing something for 20, 30, 40 years. Many of them may not make it 18 months or a year or 6 months. You've got to be able to replace that passion. What you do is one aspect of your life. Who are you spiritually, emotionally, financially, as a parent, as a spouse? All of that encompasses who you are. So take a good look today, what's really, really important to you, and make sure you have your priorities in the right place.